everyone, and welcome back to a very special video. And today's video is special because it is MCND's debut anniversary. If you're familiar with my channel, you know me, you know my relationship with MCND, you know how much I love them, but you might not understand my perspective, my lens that I have for this group that puts them above every single other one for me. But today, I'm gonna try to make that happen. Now, this isn't gonna be one of those guides where it's like, oh, they're a 5-member group under Top Media, they debuted with yada yada yada, blah blah blah, boring, boring, boring. That's not what this is. No, in today's video, we're getting right into the nitty-gritty, the funny clips that you need to know, the iconic moments that changed our fandom forever. Our fandom name is GEM, by the way, that's like the one boring thing that you should know. I'm just sharing all of the essential information that'll give you the highest chance of becoming a GEM after this video is over. And whether that information surrounds a group as a whole or a specific member individually, we'll figure that out as we go. But I guess we should start this guide by answering the question, who are MCND? And if you ask the average K-pop stan that question, you would probably get one of two answers. The first one being, they're just another noisy 4th gen boy group, and the second being, I don't know who that is. And listen, I'm not here to try to deny that they're noisy, they definitely are, but I'm here to show you that there's a little bit more to them than you think. You know, they're not like the other 4th gen boy groups, you know, there's a little bit more flexibility, a little bit more diversity in their catalog. You know, they have their noise music, they have their grr, their raw, their pow. But sometimes they do take a break from their chanting and they show that they can sing. But still, MCND's main image is that of a loud, robust, in-your-face 4th gen boy group. And personally, as a noise music enjoyer, if you could not tell by my stan list in the description, I do think that MCND has some of, if not the best noise music around. To me, songs like Ice Age, Na Na Na, and one of their B-sides, Player, feel a tier above the rest when it comes to noise, but I'll let you come to your own conclusions when you listen to those songs by yourself. See what I did there? Trying to get you to listen to their music. And besides their music, to talk about their talents for a little bit, they are some of the best dancers that I have ever seen. One of their biggest strengths is covering girl group dances. They're definitely not afraid to get a little bit feminine, they always do the songs justice. Here are some examples of my all-time favorites. As you can see, they never leave any crumbs. So one thing that you might be asking, since it's kind of a trend within the 4th gen, is does MCND have a storyline? And well, so it's complicated to say the least. So I think technically, officially, MCND's main concept is that they're aliens. But if you watch their music videos, like literally every single one of them, you don't see any sort of semblance of that. Maybe I'm just not well studied enough on their whole concept and lore, but personally, I just pretend like they don't have one. It makes things a lot easier, and I'm pretty sure their company forgets their concept a lot of the time. At least to me, it's very clear that they don't actually have a lore. So there's your answer to that. And I think with all of the general information of MCND out of the way, now we can focus on the individual members. So let's dive right into the individual profiles by talking about Castle J.
남승이 바보, 송민재 바보, 노이준 바보, 강준혁 바보.
And yes, that is unfortunately his real stage name, but we call him KJ in the fandom, so that's a little bit better. So the way I'm gonna do this, in order to keep it short, I'm gonna tell you 3 things about each member that you need to remember. And first, for Castle J, he is the chaotic one.
Let's go! 그러면 한번 해보시죠.
As you can see, there's a little bit of a fascination for twerking within him, and you know what? Good for him. If he's having fun, who are we to stop him? Secondly, and this one is important, open your ears, he has a cat named Gucci. And Gucci is our mascot. Castle J is actually allergic to cats, I'm pretty sure, but he's still got one. Kinda similar to me, actually. But besides that, the two are very, very wholesome together. We haven't seen too much of Gucci because Castle J just got them late last year, but we do love Gucci and we will defend them against anybody who calls them ugly. Hashtag Gucci Protection Squad on Twitter. And finally, this one is a little bit random, but Castle J is a huge Elsa stan. And I'm not even exaggerating, he has Elsa figurines, he sings the songs, he pretends to be an ice wizard, he loves Elsa.
Let go, let go, let go.
And honestly, I don't blame him. Who wouldn't want to have magical ice powers? I just know he was ecstatic when he heard that their debut song was going to be called Ice Age, because he probably got to live his fantasies for just a little bit. Okay, I think that's everything for Castle J, so now let's move on to the second oldest member, Big. Or Beak. Honestly, just call him Sungmin. That stage name is awful. And the first thing you need to know about him is that people call him short, but he's not short, because if Sungmin is short, what am I? Sungmin is 5'8", and that's above average. I'm not going to tell you how tall I am, but I'm just going to let you know it's not 5'8". And just because Sungmin is the shortest in the group does not mean he's actually short, because if he is, then what am I? If 5'8" is short, then what is the point of me? He's not short. That's end of story. No. And point number 2 is that Sungmin is actually a huge mama's boy. All 5 members post their individual vlogs once in a while, and for some reason, Sungmin's mom is like in every single one of his.
Hi.
She's never shown her face, which is totally fine. She does not need to at all, but you can definitely see that they have a lot of love for each other. And I don't know, just seeing the two interact so much is just very wholesome. Okay, finally, this one might sound a little bit weird, but hear me out. This is something that I have observed over like the past year. Sungmin/Beak/Big has a huge tendency to blink a lot. And this is something that I didn't notice at first, but once I did, I could not unsee it. And just look at these clips. These are all like segments from interviews that they've done before. Blinking just seems to be his kind of default thing. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing, I'm not saying it's a good thing, I'm just saying it's something that I haven't seen many other people do before. So I guess the moral of the story is Big best blinker. Yeah, that makes sense. Let's go with that. So now let's move on to Minjae. And if you're an EXO, if you stan EXO, listen up, because this is your boy. Just take a look at these clips and feast your eyes on Kai's biggest fan in the world.
5, 6, 7, 8.
People also say that he looks like Kai, and I'll just give you these pictures and let you decide for yourself. Personally, I do see it. Okay, second point is that Minjae is the only one in the group who knows how to cook. I'm not going to show you clips of the other members' attempts at cooking, but they are not very good. You can do your own research on that if you want to figure out what I'm talking about. But Minjae, he's the provider. Yes, he does the cooking, maybe not the cleaning, but he does know how to make a meal, and that's what we're focusing on right now. I think if Minjae wasn't in this group, they would suffer a lot. I do not know who would be cooking the meals if he wasn't. And overall, just we love a good cook. So finally, I do not know how to put this into words, and I don't think there would be a very good way to describe this. So I'm just gonna give you a few clips, and hopefully you understand what I'm trying to say. So second to last, we have Huijun, and apparently a lot of people have trouble saying his name. I'm not sure why, but I don't know. Anyways. First important fact when it comes to Huijun is that gems believe in long hair Huijun supremacy. For the past like 8 months, Huijun has had this really nice long hair. Okay, I'm gonna tell you this, but don't tell anybody else. At first it was extensions, but now it's natural. And now that it's natural, I will absolutely say that it is his best look. There is record of me somewhere saying that it was not good when he first had it, but that's when it was extensions. I like it now, and I do think we should hide the scissors from any stylist that comes near him. Somebody in one of my comment sections said that Huijun's long hair reminds them of like an evil Disney villain that everybody loves more than the main character, and I could not agree more. Don't you see it? You see it. Come on. Second point for Huijun is that we are going to talk about the second MCND pet, which is his dog Jae. Now Jae, similar to Gucci, we just have nothing bad to say about them. Sometimes we get to see him and Huijun going on walks together, which is always adorable. And then sometimes we just get pictures, which we also appreciate. Okay, final point for Huijun is that he also has a tendency like Bighit, but his is the exact opposite. See, Huijun in interviews sometimes just does not blink at all. I think sometimes he just zones out and that makes his brain like choose not to blink for some reason. I know how this sounds and I know how this looks, but I did not go out of my way to figure this out. It just happened. It just happened. And even so, we do kind of love Huijun for that. He said, while the rest of you need to blink, I don't need to do that. I'm better than the rest of you. And good for him. He knows his worth and he knows his value and he knows what makes him special. He doesn't waste his time blinking like the rest of us, and I applaud him for that. That's amazing. We love Huijun's blank stare. And with that out of the way, let's move on to the final member, the one you've all been waiting for, Win, or Bang Junhyuk.
That was so awkward when I did it.
So I'm not going to do a lot of commentary for Win, I'm just going to let the clips speak for themselves because his personality is just immaculate. First of all, he's known for his deep voice. I think that speaks for itself. And secondly, Win is like the best stan attractor that I have ever seen in K-pop. He's the most biased and he brings the most attention to the group. He makes like semi-viral TikToks every other day. Here are some examples of those.
Dreams, wrinkle silk on my sleeves, I don't see.
Now from the top, make it drop. That's what makes you beautiful.
And lastly, the one thing that I do feel like I should explain is that Win is sort of, the one who struggles the most in the group. And this isn't talking about like talent or anything. This is talking about how the other members, interact with him. Just watch. And I guess that's kind of it. That's basically everything you need to know about MCND. Oh, okay, actually, some people did ask for song recommendations from each era, so I'll do that now. Okay, so obviously we have all of their title tracks, Ice Age, Top Gang, Na Na Na, Spring, Crush, and Move In. But Spring and Top Gang were just singles, so there are no B-side recommendations from those eras. So for Ice Age, I would say that the most notable B-side is Hey You, but then there's also Stereotypes, which is really good. Na 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 era, my two favorites are Galaxy and Bumpin', but if you like softer songs, go for Beautiful. Crush era, Louder, Not Over, and Player are the undisputed best. And for Move-In era, Catwalks. That's all I will say. And that concludes this video. I'm gonna be completely honest, guys, this is my first time making a video like this, so I'm not sure how well of a job I did, but hopefully if you were at least interested in MCND before, you have a little bit more interest now. I seriously love this group so much, and it would be the world to me if you chose to support them. Happy anniversary MCND, hopefully we can have many more years together, and thank you all so much for watching. Without further ado, I'll see you next time.